Good morning, good afternoon, and welcome to Channel 44. I am Masiga Shegu Sembatia to bring you this afternoon's news in brief live here on Channel 44. Nigeria's former President Olusegun Obasanjo is at the center of a political storm after endorsing opposition presidential hopeful Peter Obi ahead of the general election due next month. In his endorsement, Mr. Obasanjo described Mr. Obi of Labour Party as a mentee who had an edge over the candidates. He also described the West African country's current state of affairs as having moved from the frying pan into the fire and from the mountaintop into the valley. Mr. Obasanjo governed Nigeria between 1999 and 2007 as the flag bearer for the now main opposition PDP party. He has since distanced himself from the party. In an angry response, President Muhammadu Buhari's office said the former leader was being jealous and represented the dark days of Nigeria's democracy. The former president thinks he is the best ever to lead Nigeria, and there will never be another one better than him, according to a statement from the presidential aide. In Burkina Faso, the country has repeated its commitment to restoring constitutional rule within 18 months following a decision by the U.S. to drop it from its preferential trade program. The American Trade Representative's Office said the country had failed to meet the requirements of the African Growth and Opportunity Act, AGOA, because it had acted unconstitutionally. There were two military coups in Burkina Faso last year, sparked by authorities' inability to control an intensifying Islamist insurgency. AGOA gives sub-Saharan African countries duty-free access to the U.S. as long as they meet certain eligibility requirements, including progress towards democracy. In the United States, Republican Kevin McCarthy is struggling to secure enough support to ensure he wins a vote to become the new Speaker of the House of Representatives. The Californian congressman must win a majority vote in the House today to get the role. A group of Republicans are refusing to back him despite him making a number of last-minute concessions. Mr. McCarthy cannot afford to lose more than a handful of votes from his party if he is to win the vote. The role of Speaker of the House is one of the most important jobs in United States politics. In Europe, Irish President Minister Leo Varadkar has said mistakes were made on all sides in the way Brexit was negotiated. Mr. Varadkar said he would be flexible and reasonable when attempting to solve issues with the Northern Ireland Protocol. He admitted that perhaps the treaty was a little bit too strict and that the European Union was willing to make compromises. Mr. Varadkar became Prime Minister for the second time last month. The Fine Gael leader has been unpopular with some unionists who see him as instrumental in the creation of the contentious protocol. Investigators are still trying to work out what caused the deadly mid-air collision between two helicopters on Australia's Gold Coast, according to officials. A British couple and two Australians died in the crash yesterday near the SeaWorld Resort in Queensland. Three others, including two children, were seriously injured in the crash. Officials say it happened less than 20 seconds after one helicopter took off from a sandbar and collided with another aircraft that was landing. And on the Ukraine-Russian war, Ukraine's president says Russia is planning a protracted campaign of drone attacks in a bid to demoralize Ukraine. Volodymyr Zelensky said he had received intelligence reports suggesting that Moscow would launch the attacks using Iranian-made Shahed drones. It comes after Ukraine carried out a strike that it said killed hundreds of Russian soldiers in the Donbas region. In an extremely rare admission of the battlefield losses, Russia said the attack killed 63 of its troops. Speaking from Kiev in his nightly address, Mr. Zelensky said Russia planned to exhaust Ukraine with a prolonged wave of drone attacks. In the world of sports, American football star Damar Hamlin is in critical condition after suffering a cardiac arrest during a primetime U.S. National Football League game. The Buffalo Bills player, who is aged 24, fell to the ground after colliding with an opponent during the first quarter of a match against Cincinnati Bengals. He received on-field medical attention for more than 30 minutes before being taken to a local hospital. The NFL suspended the game for the night about an hour after the incident. His team, the Buffalo Bills, later confirmed the cardiac arrest in a statement and added that his heartbeat was restored. And finally, still in the world of sports, thousands of mourners queued through the night to pay respects to Brazil legend Pele, who is lying in state at the ground of his former club, Santos. Pele's coffin was placed in the center of the pitch at the Urbano Caldeira Stadium in Sao Paulo, with fans lining the streets to get inside the ground. The three-time World Cup winner died at the age of 82 on the 29th of December. There will be a procession through the streets of Santos to a private family burial today at 12 GMT. Brazil's government declared 3 days of national mourning after Pele's death. New Brazilian President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva will travel to Santos, a city in the state of Sao Paulo, to pay his respects as the 24-hour vigil draws to a close. Pele, arguably the world's greatest ever player, had been undergoing treatment for colon cancer since 2021. Well, that brings us to the end of this afternoon's News in Brief. Thank you for watching Channel 44. Pastor Jessica Kayanja is up next with the Marriage Now program. Of late, she's been preaching greatly on how to enter 2023, or how to continue in 2023 under Psalms 23. Please join us once again and be blessed as she ministers to us. God bless you and enjoy your afternoon.